All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to break down a question that's popping up for a lot of employees these days, and it's all about a retirement savings plan called corporate NPS.
You know, this whole explainer actually got started because a friend asked me this exact question, and I bet it's a choice many of you are looking at right now. It seems simple enough on the surface, but trust me, there are quite a few layers we need to peel back.
Okay, so before we jump into the whole corporate part of it, let's just do a super quick refresh on what the National Pension System, or NPS, even is. At its heart, just think of it as a special savings account, one that's designed specifically to help you build up a nice big fund for when you eventually retire.
You've probably been hearing a lot more about NPS lately, and there's a really good reason for that. Some recent changes in the budget have made it way more attractive, especially when it comes to taxes. This is a big deal if you're under what's called the new tax regime. You know, the simpler system with lower tax rates but fewer deductions. Well, corporate NPS is one of the very few deductions that are still allowed, and that's exactly why so many companies are starting to offer it. Okay, let's dive into how it really works.
So to really get a grip on corporate NPS, I think the best place to start is with something most of us already know pretty well, the Employees Provident Fund, or EPF. We all see that line item on our pay slips every single month.
Okay, so let's put them side by side. Right away, you can see EPF is mandatory by law. Both you and your boss have to put money in. But corporate NPS, totally optional. But here's where it gets really interesting, and this is the key. That whole employer contribution part for NPS, well, it's not quite what it sounds like. There's a twist.
And this, right here, is the most important thing to get. When you see employer contribution for corporate NPS, your brain might think free money. But that's not really the case. It's basically just tax jargon. In almost every situation, that money is actually being taken out of your total salary package, your CTC. Your company is just taking a piece of your money and redirecting it into your NPS account on your behalf.
So the moment you opt in, three things happen almost instantly, and it's a real trade-off. Let's walk through it. First up, step one, you save on taxes, because that money is being taken out before tax is calculated. Awesome. But that leads directly to step two. Your monthly take-home pay goes down. And finally, the good part. Step three, you are now automatically, painlessly saving for your retirement. So with that in mind, let's dig into the long-term pros and cons here.
So what's the real upside to choosing this path? Let's look at the merits. Because the way this whole system is designed, it can actually build some really powerful financial habits, especially if you're a certain type of person when it comes to saving money. What you're looking at here is a system that's basically designed to force good savings habits. It's friction-free, right? The money is gone before you can even think about spending it. Then you have the strict withdrawal rules, which force you to be disciplined and leave that money alone to grow. When you retire, you have to use some of that money to buy something called an annuity, which is just a fancy way of saying a product that gives you a steady, regular income for life. And maybe most importantly, you can invest up to 75% of your NPS money in stocks, which gives it the potential to grow a lot faster than something like EPF.
All right, but you know how it goes. Every single financial product has a flip side. And what's really fascinating here is that the very things we just called benefits can, well, they can also be seen as major drawbacks, all depending on how you look at it.
It really is a classic case of discipline versus flexibility. Those tough withdrawal rules, they sound great for discipline, but in a real emergency, your money is completely out of reach. That 75% cap on stocks, for a young investor who wants to be really aggressive, that limit might feel like you're leaving growth on the table. Then there's what I call tax-saving bias. It's easy to get so focused on the immediate tax break that you forget that a different investment, even after taxes, might actually make you more money in the long run. And finally, those annuities you have to buy at the end. Frankly, right now, the returns they offer are pretty low.
Okay, so we've looked at both sides of the coin. The good, the bad. They're really just different perspectives on the same features, right? So now let's put it all together and build a little framework so you can decide for yourself.
And that brings us all the way back to the big question we started with. And like most things in finance, there is no one-size-fits-all answer. The right choice for you depends completely on your personal situation, what your goals are, and, let's be honest, how disciplined you are with your money. So let's say you're nodding along to this list. If you just find it hard to save money every month, the set it and forget it nature of this is perfect. Or maybe you're someone who just prefers the peace of mind of a structured plan over trying to squeeze out every last bit of return. If that sounds like you, then corporate NPS could be a fantastic tool. But on the other hand, maybe you're listening and thinking, nope, that's not me at all.
If having more cash in your pocket each month is your top priority right now, this isn't for you. If you have dreams of retiring early, that lock-in until age 60 is a huge problem. And if you're a confident investor who wants to be 100% in stocks, well, you might be better off managing that money on your own.
Okay, one last and really important thing to remember. No matter what you decide, please don't think that just opting into NPS means your retirement is sorted. This is just one piece of the puzzle. You absolutely have to sit down and figure out how much you'll actually need to live on, and then make sure your entire savings plan is on track to get you there.
So there you have it. We really hope this helped clear things up on corporate NPS, boiling it all down to that core choice between structured discipline and personal flexibility. If you found this guide helpful, do us a favor and like the video and subscribe for more explainers on tricky topics. Thanks so much for watching.